Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video by your favorite scuff streamer and content creator, Plumber Carl. From the low-res camera and the raw gameplay, that's why you're here, of course. But that's okay, you know, I still have friends and I have chat. We're here to talk about Gamesense and Logic. And you're probably wondering, Plumber, are you qualified to talk about this with your extremely limited vocabulary and life skills? And the answer to that question is, of course, I'm a plumber. So today we're going to use a VR game called Contractor's Exfilzone for an example. First thing you need to know, when it comes to inability to have good game sense, it's a skill issue. But seriously, it requires development and time. Honestly, you just have to develop this skill and time played in a game to have good game sense. Now to define it, first we will use my trusty assistant, Google. I always tell people between me and Google, we know everything, so go no further. So game sense is defined as define game sense, please. No, I'm just joking. I don't have to say please. Gaming. There we go. So, in the words of FPS game, game sense is it encompasses situational awareness, tactical decision making, opponent reading, resource management, and teamwork. Developing game sense requires experience, practice, and a deep understanding of the game mechanics. Time played in a game will increase your game sense. In return, you are developing it. Some of this can be translated across all games. Some of it can only be trained while playing a certain game. I think someone who has good game sense is thinking about spawns. Okay, so let's talk about spawns real quick. Let me just mark off a couple spawns. So from a top-down view, we can start to define how game sense is used and acquired in a certain game. This is an extraction shooter. You load in, there's a certain amount of time on the clock, you get out. What you notice in extraction shooters is spawn points, okay? There is a spawn point right here. Let's talk about this one. This is the easiest one to define game sense and logic is right here. It's right behind the car repair. What you need to know is there's a spawn point here. There's a spawn point up here. There's a spawn point back here. There's a spawn point back here. There's a spawn point back here. Okay? There's even a spawn point back here. What you need to know based on these spawns, there's some game sense that is involved here. Is that when I spawn in at this location here, which I'll just define it as green. When I spawn in at this location here, my game sense tells me there are spawns all around, okay? And you're thinking, yeah, plumber, common sense. No, but that's game sense. Now, based on that, I can do one of three things. And this doesn't apply to game sense, but this is literally maybe a second video that I might get into. There's three types of players at the beginning of us at a raid. One is the Timmy. So the way I see the Timmy is, and let me choose a different color here. The Timmy spawns in and he says, ooh, point of interest. Ooh, scav, shoot. Ooh, point of interest. Ooh, scav, shoot. 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 Ooh, point of interest. The Timmies are just tossed by the wind, okay? Whatever they visually see, they react to, and they do. They are not thinking outside the box at all. So to me, that is a Timmy. Next, you have, you know, basically the predators of the map. I've showed you what a Timmy does. Now I'm going to show you what someone that is more the aggressor or someone that is maybe patient or sets up a trap. So you got somebody that's pushing the fight, pushing the spawns, or others that have maybe don't have much of an advantage are going to set up a trap to try to even the odds. Okay. Now, when it comes to which you should be doing, it's usually based on your confidence level or your squad size. Okay. An aggressor is knowing that these spawns are here and using their game sense accordingly. If I spawn up top here, I clear out these spawns and check POIs and HVIs and do whatever based on my game sense at the time, based on what I'm hearing. But I'll typically take this route unless I have a plan to go straight to mall, then I might just rip in. So as an aggressor, I will clear these spawns. I'll push over, I'm listening. I'll try not to shoot scavs. I'm literally just become a hunter. I'm aggressor. I know that right here, there's an HIV. Okay. Now, based on this time frame, I'm thinking to myself, using Gamesense as well, if I've spawned in any of these locations, I'm probably this far into the map already. Okay. Because it's taken me this long to get there. So I'm always thinking about time in raid and how far individuals might have gotten. And that's where logic is involved, because you're just using your knowledge to make a decision, a logical decision. And you know what? You don't have to be right. You just have to make decisions and just work with it. So again, I spawn here. I'm going to clear this. And then maybe I hear gunshots over here, okay? On this location here. So based on that, I know, oh, somebody's probably spawned here. I'm going to go up on top of these rocks and I shoot down on these guys and kill them. Or I'm going to push out in front and I'm going to shoot these guys as they cross over to ulti-buy. Likely what they're going to do. And again, that's just using game sense. That's just using based on, hey, if I spawn here, I know what I do. I go into this point of interest because I have to, and then I go to ulti-buy. That's just like typical movements. The other type would be a trap. Somebody who sets up a trap. When I spawn here, I go up onto these rocks here and I chill out. This is you know, the high ground is what I'd like to say. I'm looking back to see if this guy's coming. I'm looking over to see if this guy's coming. I might be able to see this guy running across here. I might not shoot at him, but he's probably, you know, doing all this stuff over here. And I'm just chilling. I'm literally chilling. I'm in this raid for 40 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on how fast I want to go through. This guy's probably going into this location. This guy's probably moving this way. This guy's probably moving this way. If I hear gunshots over here, I'm paying attention over to the south, you know, stuff like that. And so as somebody who just sets a trap, you're just chilling. You're just being patient. You're just waiting. And that's just using basic game sense. You know spawns, and then you're reacting in a certain way based on player movements. If you spawned at any of these locations 10 times, you would say likely based on those locations, these players are going to X spot. You know, this guy's going to camp. This person's probably going to car repair. This one's probably going to HVIs. This one's probably going to pharmacy or this house again for the HVI. Supply depot is probably going into supply depot, going over to the pharmacy as well, or he's going over to villa because there's another HVI there. And then you got this back spawn here. He's probably going into villa. If he doesn't go to villa, he's going to ulti-buy or he's going to motel. So these are all just based on development, okay? I've developed the skill. I've spent the time in the game. So based on that, I have an idea of where people are going. Pretty straightforward. So I would say that's been using game sense at the start of a raid. And so understanding the mechanics as defined by Google, our assistant. Again, by Google, it encompasses a situational awareness, okay? So we've talked about that. Tactical decision making, we've talked about that. Opponent reading, again, we talked about that. Research management and teamwork. Developing game sense requires experience, practice, and a deep understanding of the game mechanics. Now, if I were to summarize game sense, in my mind, it's literally just understanding player movements and game mechanics. Once you know what players are gonna do, plan on doing, reacting to, and understanding the game mechanics, meaning raided, you're in a raid that has a certain amount of time, understanding that there's scavs around the map, understanding that there's bosses and loot, and all those things. Based on that development, my game sense has been increased. I know where the extractions are. If we go into game sense, let's say late game or mid game, the best way I could define this is, let's say I make my way over to Ulti-Buy, I make my way over and I'm trying to kill the boss at Mall, okay? And I might be hearing shots now. I might be hearing shots around the map. So now there's shots all around me. All I'm thinking about is movement. I'm trying to understand, where are they going, okay? This might be mid-game. Likely what is happening, and I'll erase this if I need, is when you start at one side of the map, you are working your way over to the other side and vice versa. And it's just based on extractions, okay? It's literally based on extraction. Sometimes you get a close extraction, sometimes you get a far extraction. So if I'm hearing these sounds and I started at this side of the map, okay? I've basically kind of cleared this whole side of the map as I'm moving in. Not really, but kinda, you know. I'm pretty confident that there's nobody behind me. This guy might be taking his time coming down. This guy might have went this way and maybe I didn't see them and maybe I just took off, you know? There is that possibility. If I hear power plant or town, hider town here, I think these guys are late to the party and they're coming over to Mall, okay? So I think they're coming in here. They could go behind or they could go to motel. Who knows? But based on my game sense, this is what I think they're going to do. And I'm just going to get in position for that. So I'll make my way up to the roof and I'll position myself on this side of the roof, ready to shoot these guys as they come over. Okay? That's what I think. That's what I think happened. I don't think these guys are ahead of me in any way. And I don't think that they're actually, they're leaving. I don't think they're going to maybe this side of the map over here. I think they're late to the party. They're coming over to Mall, okay? And they could be passing by. And some of you guys are just like, man, that's just basic knowledge. Well, some people don't understand game sets. They don't think to, you know, try to find that situational awareness and player movement. Most people are just looking at POIs, points of interest. They're just running to loot. They're not thinking about anything else other than what they can visually see and what they might, you know, tunnel their vision onto, and that's loot. So let's say I'm in the mall and I am late game. Let's say I'm late game. I'm in the mall here. I'll just put a big circle and I hear shots at motel. When I hear shots at motel, because I came from this direction, I think these guys are extracting here, or they're making their way over to an extraction over here because they want to hit the HVI over here, okay? Which is total possibility. I am typically an aggressor. I love setting traps. I'm an aggressor that likes to set traps. Let's just say that. I will make my way over this way, and I'm trying to cut them off. If I'm feeling hot and heavy and I've got squad mates with me, I'll just push straight in. But typically I wrap around as a solo and see if I can get eyes on motel. And if I hear shots at Villa, I will run back over this way and again just try to get shots on these guys. I'm trying to get ahead of them. I'm trying to shoot them from the side. I'm trying to stay out of their line of sight too. But that's just that's more like tactics, and I don't need to talk about tactics in this video. If I were to define tactics in a brief description, you know, players are going from point A to point B. They're looking this way. Don't position yourself in front of them because they're visually going to see you. Position yourself off to the side. That way, if they're going to point A to point B, they don't see you right away, and then you can probably get a shot off at them. You could be from the side. The problem with being directly from the side is that they're moving usually left to right or right to left on you, and they're just hard to hit those shots. They're not as easy as somebody coming more directionally straight at you. So that's just a little bit of game tactics. Anyways, so I hear somebody at motel. I'm gonna slide in front of them and try to kill them, or directly go right at them. I'm not going to go over here. I'm not going to swing around over here. Why would I do that? Because I started on this side of the map and I'm expecting that whoever's at motel is coming through. Okay, there's no reason that they should be going the other way unless I missed them. Like I said, this guy could be running all the way around here and then going through the map, but unlikely. That's a long run. That's a long run. Sometimes running right through the middle of the map is the safest spot to run. I typically run either right in the open, like in the middle where people don't look because they don't expect you to be there, or I run along the edge where people expect you to be. And the reason for that is if you stay along the edge of the map, all you have to do is look forward and to the side. You don't have to look left in this case, okay? If I'm moving this way, I look forward and to the right. As I'm moving along all the way through the edge of the map, I don't ever have to look left. The problem when you get to the middle of the map, let's say I'm moving this way, is now I have to look forward, left, and right. Is very hard. Very hard, even as a solo, to look all around and make sure that, you know, somebody's not sneaking up on you. You know, if you're in the middle of the map, somebody can come in behind you. Whereas on the edge of the map, you likely, you know, have cleared behind you. You don't have to look behind you very often, okay? It's mostly in the middle of the map that you need to look behind you frequently. That's a little bit of game tactics, but also understanding lanes. You know, like I said, if this is the used part of the map, let's just say everybody runs this. This is the run. I'm going to go like this to get through the map because I know everybody's on this lane. All right. Think about it like these roads. If these roads were the most used lanes on this map right here, I would not use these lanes. I would go just beside it and run the same route because they're expecting people to be on this lane. They don't expect somebody to be on this lane. Okay. So don't run the routes that somebody typically runs unless you want to find players. Now, some would say, well, I like fighting players. Well, then run this route. Not this exact route, but if this is what the route the players run, position yourself right on this sucker. If you hear gunshots on that lane, run over because likely you're going to find somebody there. So that was mid-game. Late game, similar to the mid-game. Again, I'm thinking about extractions. If I hear shots at Villa now, and I'm at mall, well, I know that they're not going motel. I've already cleared this side of the map, kind of, because I've scanned it. I started over here. I looked over here. Maybe I looted this location. I looted this location. I ran up to Villa. I went over to Alti-Buy, and now I'm in mall. Who knows? But if I hear shots at Villa, I'm thinking of extractions at this point. I'm thinking, where are they going to go extract? Okay. There's a couple extractions. There's one, you know, along the edge here. There is one sliding down here. There's one here. If it's a scav, there's some here. These are terrible triangles. So what I'm thinking about is getting ahead of them, actually, if they were at Villa, and cutting them off. And I might just cut straight at them because they're not expecting this. They might be going straight to extraction. And I might just want to just shoot them right from the side, right from behind, slow them down, shoot them in the legs, whatever the case may be. Because the best thing about being late game in a raid is that if you find anybody, likely they're a farmer. And we'll talk about this maybe in another video with hunters, is that you've got farmers and you got hunters, those that farm the map and those that hunt the map. So farmers like to grab everything, loot all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. That's just their main focus. Hunters like to hunt for their kills and then gather their resources. They don't farm at all. So I consider myself a hybrid. I love looting, but I love hunting, especially late in the raid. It's the best time to kill somebody. They're gonna have loot. They looted for you. They're farmed up, and you get to kill them for that loot. So that's Gamesense and Logic. To summarize it again, the Gamesense is developed per game, and it's done with time. You need to understand the mechanics of the game. And Logic is just making a decision. Sometimes individuals just don't make a decision. They've got, you know, shots at hotel, or motel, sorry, they think, oh man, do I go this way? Do I go this way? You're trying to rack your brain. You're trying to use your skill of your game sense. What do I do? What do I do? Just make a logical decision. I spawned over here. Likely this guy spawned over here and he's going this way. Just make a decision and run with it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I tell chat when I'm live all the time, I think so-and-so is doing this based on this. I'm gonna run to this location and set up an ambush, set up a trap as a solo, and we're gonna try to kill that squad. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes they drop right into the pocket. Like, I'll be like, watch, this individual's about to come over this hill. Sure enough, individual comes over the hill, drop them, head out. So that's where the logic comes in and the game sense. They're kind of hand in hand. Just make a decision, run with it, and then move on. So that's my 2 cents on game sense. It might be super vague. It might be super simple. Whatever the case may be, if any of you guys have comments based on game sense, please let me know in the comments down below. You know, my understanding of it could be increased. I'm not saying I know it all. I do like video games. I do like game sense. I'm always racking my brain, you know, and you know, game sense could be talked about in fighting as well. There's certain fighting situations and using your game sense based on gun mechanics and grenades and you know, health systems and stuff. And so you have to use your game sense based on that to see how to kill individuals. But this is just kind of an overview of game sense. So all I could say to you guys, encourage you guys, is just keep playing your games, develop that game sense, make good decisions, make bad decisions, whatever the case may be. You'll become a better player. My only thing is, don't be a Timmy. Don't be a Timmy. Don't run from point of interest to point of interest to point of interest to scav to loot to scav to loot and just not have any care in the world. And you're just tossed by the wind by whatever you see. And you're not even thinking about other players. Just be situation awareness is just out the door. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was informative. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a great night. And God bless you guys. And we'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, which will likely be about hunters and farmers. Sounds lame. Sounds simple. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, join me over on Twitch. Like and subscribe if you guys want some more content like this. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. Anyways, bye for now. Ciao.